A very good afternoon, everybody. Bringing you pictures live from the Nottinghamshire Sports Ground, Lady Bay Cricket Ground, playing host to this ECB County Cup T20 fixture, dubbed the FA Cup of the T20 format in the women's game. Blaze playing across the road today from Trent Bridge, where they played on Wednesday, hosting Lancashire in what is effectively an eliminator, the winner going through to finals day, which will be played actually at Old Trafford. So Lancashire certainly will be vying to play at home on finals day. The news from the toss is that Lancashire Thunder have won the toss and they've decided to field first here. We will run through the teams with you as we get underway here. There's a few notable changes from the Blaze team that played on Wednesday. But it's going to be Tara Norris, left arm, over the wicket to open the bowling. And Marie Kelly is going to face up onto the pads of Marie Kelly there. She can't get any bat on that, and Tara Norris fields off her own bowling. Sarah Bryce is the non-striker. Let's have a look at the Blaze team first and foremost. So Marie Kelly, Sarah Bryce opening up, as we just mentioned. Catherine Bryce, fresh off 100, will come in at 3. Emma Jones down to bat at 4. We know she can play some strokes. Michaela Kirk down to come in at 5, and a different keeper today. Ella Claridge will take the gloves at 6. Whipped into the leg side aerially, and a great grab from Darcy Carter coming round at deep mid-wicket. So second ball of the game, aggressive shot from Marie Kelly, targeting that short boundary to the leg side in front of the clubhouse and in front of the dugouts where the players are sat. And it's first blood to Lancashire in this eliminator. We know Marie Kelly's got some expansive shots in her, and she decided to try and go over the boundary riders there, but this time in vain. So Blaze reduced to 0 for 1 after 2 deliveries. I'll just finish the remainder of the Blaze team here. So Kirsty Gordon down to come in at 7, Josie Groves 8, the leg spinner, Lucy Hyam, the off spinner at 9, Grace Ballinger, left arm seam, and Cassidy McCarthy back into the side. First game for the Blaze this season for Cassidy McCarthy. Wednesday's Centurion, Catherine Bryce, just scratching her mark. Cassidy McCarthy playing her first game, as I mentioned. She's replacing Charlie Phillips, who's been rested today. Also rested Tammy Beaumont, and the other Centurion, Georgia Elwis, as Catherine Bryce faces her first delivery. And she's hit her own sister at the other end there with a checked straight drive. So Blaze 0 for 1 after 3 deliveries in this T20 County Cup fixture. Norris with ball in hand. Over the wicket, turned into leg side. Tilika Stephen doing the fielding there. Tilika Stephen, rookie contracted player, of course, had success in the final for Lancashire last year. Lancashire the holders. Stephen peeled off a valuable 70 in the final to see the Red Rose County over the line for their first domestic trophy. Norris is in. Check drive again to mid-on for no run. Kate Cross doing the fielding there. Kate Cross, of course, announced her retirement from domestic cricket this week. She'll finish up at the end of the season. Norris on the money again. Well, that is somewhat of a collector's item in the shortest format of the game. A wicket maiden from the first over of this clash. Blaze 0 for 1 after 1. So let's run through that Lancashire Thunder side in full. We've got Eve Jones and Emma Lamb, we think, will open the bat. Talika Stevens, we just mentioned, will come out at 3. Ellie Threlkel, captain and wicketkeeper, number 4. Sky Thomas, Darcy Carter, 5 and 6. Kate Cross, Grace Potts, Tara Norris, who we've just seen bowl. Venus Wirapuli, exciting young leg spinner, and Sophie Morris, bringing up the rear guard of the Lancashire Thunder. Grace Potts will open from the hockey end. Right arm seam bowler. She's in now, right arm over the wicket, and another dot ball from this Lancashire bowling attack. Sarah Bryce faces her first delivery of the day. Grace Potts, of course, had some honours across the England development programmes through the winter and into this summer, representing England A. She's on her way once again. Bit of a leading edge there as Sarah Bryce looks to go to the leg side and then just checks a shot at the last moment. And it squirts out into the offside. Fielding done by Emma Lamb there at backward point. Potts once again, right arm over the wicket. We're going to get our first runs of the day. Square driven, it's going to run away for 4 runs. Blaze off the mark, Sarah Bryce off the mark. And that was maybe a yard to the side of Emma Lamb, and it flew through the circle and onto the boundary rope for 4 runs. Deep square leg. Third man, the only 2 fielders out the circle in this 6-over power play. As Potts is in, and this one is thickishly edged down to that third region. Sophie Morris doing the fielding down there, so another run to the Blaze score. Change of ends for Catherine Bryce, who just scratches her mark. Tap of the bat. Bowler's in, and another false shot. She's got it past the left hand this time of backward point. It's cut off by Sophie Morris coming round doing the fielding from third, so the Bryce sisters will come back for 2. Plays 6 for 1 in the second. Marie Kelly departing. Second ball of the game, hold out to deep mid wicket. It's brought the 2 Bryce sisters together. Potts past the umpire is in, and play and miss with the keeper stood up. Ellie Threlkel, of course, in that test squad for the recent women's test at the Lords. And that's the end of the second. Blaze 6 for 1. Lancashire keeping it fresh here, changing up the bowling straight away, not letting these Blaze batters settle perhaps is the thinking. So Kate Cross, wealth of experience, is going to come from this end now. Right arm over the wicket tickled into the leg side. Very fine and fielded by that short fine leg, but they'll come through for a very sharp single. Warm day here in Nottingham. A bit muggy this morning, a bit cooler, starting to feel like September's on its way, but it's got nice and warm this afternoon. Cross once again, right arm over the wicket, bit of width this time and square driven. There's a deep point, so just be one run. Sarah Bryce facing her first delivery from Kate Cross of the day. She's in now and hit on the pads. There's no inquiry there, very leg side and no run as Ellie Threlkeld retrieves the ball. Somewhat circumspect start from the Blaze here. Driven square again. Be another single out to that deep point fielder. Crosses in, driven on the up, splits mid-off and mid-on beautifully. And rolls into the Vitality Health and Life Insurance advertising hoardings for a boundary. First boundary conceded by Cross there. Ever so slightly fuller. A bit of calculated elevation from Catherine Bryce there, just lifting it over the top of the circle. Splitting the two fielders. Cross in again, cut way behind square this time, and the fielder, great attempt but in vain. So double boundaries to end the third. Blaze on to 18 for 1. Lancashire going to stick with Grace Potts here. They're going to change it up again. They've used 3 different bowlers in 3 different overs so far. Of course, started with that wicket maiden first up, so Blaze struck the last 2 overs for 18. Yes, number 9 on her back, Grace Potts, will continue. Slight change of field now. They've gone to a deep backward point from both ends. Emma Lamb doing the fielding. That's some distance to cover backward, deep backward point to deep backward point. Potts then on her way. That will be a wide. So Blaze just wrestling back. Control now. Making the Lancashire bowlers think about what areas they're going to bowl. Try and stem the run flow. It's a relatively smaller ground compared to Trent Bridge across the road. Potts just pushing Sarah Bryce back into a crease there. Potts once again turning to leg side. Bit of a shuffle from Sarah Bryce there. Deep backward square leg, cutting the ball off. So it'd just be a single. Darcy Carter out on the boundary on the leg side. As I mentioned, Emma Lamb, the deep backward point on the offside, so everybody else inside the circle. Only 2 fielders permitted outside the ring in the first 6. Potts is in, and Catherine Bryce deliberately looking to get the ramp out there, knowing that if she gets enough elevation on it, just that one fielder inside the circle behind square. Will she go again? Line of fielders inside the circle on the offside, difficult to beat. That's beaten everything, including the keeper, and they'll come through for a bye there. Bryce just looking to work that to the leg side. The ball managed to evade everything. Potts is in and struggling with the radar again there, wide on the offside. Keep the umpires busy and the scorers. Potts in once again, and play and miss. Sarah Bryce tries to play an expansive drive there, looking to either hit through or over a line of 4 fielders on the offside. Venus Villapuli just slightly backward of point in the circle. Got a cover point, an extra cover and a mid off. If you beat those 4, it's destined to be 4. Potts is in. Another play and miss. Sarah Bryce just a bit late on that one. Great glove work from Ellie Threlkeld. Ever present as leader and keeper since the professional era. Potts in again, sliced over the top of short third. It's going to run away for 4. Very little margin for error here, especially in the power play with just 2 permitted out. So another boundary to finish, another over for the Blaze, frustrating the Thunder women here. The Blaze 27 for 1 from 4. So when you consider the first over was a wicket maiden, the run rate has certainly picked up from a Blaze point of view. Dimensions of this ground much smaller than Trent Bridge. Outfield has slightly recovered from some of the wet weather we've had this week, but it'll still be incredibly hard and run away very quickly. And we've seen for the batters so far that there's lots of value for your shots. As Tara Norris is back on, left arm over the wicket, driven hard at cover and well fielded. Bit of a bobble there, so Catherine Bryce will feel she's missed out there. Norris is in, and this one's cut hard, and for a second short third was in the game. Sophie Morris, arms stretched out, but it's 4 more. Place 31 for 1. Not as convincing as some of the other shots, but Norris offering the width there, and Catherine Bryce more than entitled to throw her bat at it. Norris in again, cut again, this time into the ground, and Morris will do the fielding, but she can't prevent the single. Blaze 32 for 1. Norris in, down the leg side. I think this will be signalled a leg by. It is indeed. So Norris just struggling with the radar after that wicket maiden from the first over. She's gone a little bit wide and been cut and slashed away, and then gone a little bit too straight onto the pads there with that one. She's in again, driven on the up. They'll come through for a single. Hit too wide mid-off. Well retrieved from Grace Potts. Looking after the bowlers' union there. Norris in again, and inside edge this time. So Blaze trying to play the shots, living dangerously at times, but it's a run nevertheless to end the 5th over. And the Blaze are 35 for 1. Three bowlers used so far from the Thunder. Change of ends it looks like for Kate Cross. Opting to use all seam bowlers in this first 6. This will be the last over in the mandatory power play 1. Still got a deep point, or deep backward point, and a deep backward square leg, so short third inside the circle. So reverse ramp is on, the risk of feeding it to short third, but a regulation ramp into a vacant short fine leg is on. In fact, Venus Virapuli has been moved there now, so there's a bit more risk for your ramps now as Cross is in, and this one's cut, slashed high in the air. It's going to evade Emma Lamb, but she does well to prevent the ball bouncing over it for a boundary. Kitchen sink was thrown at that from Sarah Bryce, but it's a run nevertheless for the Blaze cause. Course Blaze T20 champions will want to go and add another trophy to the cabinet in this format. As Cross is in, and this one's cut hard at Emma Lamb, and she can't stop that one. Bounced once in front of a very awkward fielding out there on the boundary when it comes slightly unconventionally at you. And another boundary to Catherine Bryce. What a rich vein of form she is in at the moment, fresh off 100 on Wednesday. Cross is in again this time. Check drive to extra cover, and there'll be no run. Halfway through the 6 over here, Blaze 40 for 1. They'll be relatively happy with this start. Cross over the wicket and hit a perfect length there. Got a bit more bounce out of it, and play and miss. A great piece of glove work, whipping the bails off. Umpire unmoved though, as was Catherine Bryce. Cross once again, bit floaty this time, induces the edge, and it goes fine for 4 more runs. Doesn't matter how you score them as far as the Blaze are concerned. Heads being scratched from a Lancashire point of view. The Blaze move on to 44 for 1. is the risk of not having a third or a fine leg stationed on the boundary, but that's what the power play does to you, trying to cover as many bases as possible with a deep backward point and a deep backward square leg. Can Kate Cross get out of this over? She's in and on the money this time, so dot ball to end the 6. I think Blaze will be very happy with that power play given they lost a wicket. Second ball of the game, Blaze are 44 for 1 from 6. So we're going to see spin for the first time. Captain Threlkeld just having a little conference with Sophie Morris, who wears number 3 on her back. Left arm orthodox spinner, finger spin, so she'll look to take that ball away from the right-handed Bryce. It's Sarah Bryce who's on strike. Now, what have we got in terms of boundary riders? We've got a deep backward square leg, trying to prevent perhaps that hard sweep. And we've got a deep mid wicket on the leg side. And then we've got a long on as well on the leg side. And there is a sweep. That's a deft sweep and very fine. And that should run away for 4. It does indeed. Smart cricket from Sarah Bryce there, just teasing bowler and skipper there on the fielding positions. Plays 48 for 1 now, and pressure straight on the spinner in the 7th over with her first delivery. Morris is in, rocks back this time, can't get it through the ring, and it'll be no run. 4th fielder is deep cover out on the offside, so long on, deep mid wicket, deep square leg, and deep cover. Cut away this time, and deep cover is going to be in the game here. Looks like it's Grace Potts out there doing the fielding. Change of angles from Threlkeld here, just bringing her offside field as much squarer for Catherine Bryce as Morris is in and looks to cut that one, plays and misses, and Threlkeld taking the bails off again, not really asking a serious question, but just reminding Bryce of how good her glove work is. She does slip that back foot. Morris once again turned into the leg side. Not convincing, but they'll get through for a single nevertheless. That's the 50 up for Blaze, I'm sure you've just heard from the ground announcer. And 50 partnership for the Bryce sisters as well. Morris in, floats this one up. Sarah Bryce, like her sister there, opting to play off the back foot but can't get the ball away for any runs. So that's the end of the 7th over. Blaze are 50 for 1. See a double change here. The second bowler of spin being introduced, Venus Wirapuli. Wirapuli is a right arm leg spinner, so ball over the wrist, try and rip it away from the right-handed batters. She's in now, floats that one up, turning to leg side. They'll think about 2 here, it's going to a big pocket. They are coming back for a second. telepathy, as you'd expect from the Bryce sisters there. There's a big gap on that leg side. Nobody inside the circle in front of square, and they're going to change that up now. So long on, deep mid wicket, deep square leg, and inside we've got a short fine leg and a mid wicket on the leg side. So just 4 on the offside. As Wirapulli's in, swept hard behind square leg, and that deep backward square leg will do the fielding. So another single there. Offside field of mid-off, extra cover, point, and a deep backward point. Trying to cover all bases here are the Thunder. This one's floated up and met on the full toss and swept to that deep mid-wicket fielder for another single. So the Blaze batters not allowing the Thunder bowlers to settle here. The Bryce sisters having slightly different setups, making captain and bowler tweak the field every single ball, trying to disrupt the bowling of the Thunder. As Wirapulli's in now, and this time pulled away. That should split both fielders on the leg side, and it does indeed. 4 more to the Blaze. 58 for 1 in the 8th. More chopping and changing here. A short third now. Emma Lamb's gone round to a deep cover. Wirapulli under a bit of pressure here. Floats this one up. Great response from the youngster. Would have been easier to go flatter there and dart the ball in, but opting to continue to float it up there and try and give it a rip. Can she get out the over? Last ball of the 8th. Reversed. Question's been asked and it's been given. Catherine Bryce looking to reverse. Switch hit almost, completely change the legs the other way round. Venus Wirapulli says, if you miss, I hit. And umpire Gabby Brown raises the finger. Catherine Bryce departing for 33 off the last ball of the 8th over. So the Blaze are 58 for 2.
The next batter is number 88, Emma Jones.
Bryce 33 from her 26 deliveries. Didn't die wandering in that innings. Got lucky with a couple of streaky shots, but she played some emphatic shots as well. Consistent performer for the Blaze over a number of years now. And what a luxury it is to have Emma Jones walking out at number 4. We often see her a little bit lower down the order in 50 over cricket, but she's got a serious amount of shots in her armoury. Long levers, can hit a long ball. We have another change of bowling here. We're going to see some off spin from Emma Lamb. Sarah Bryce will be on strike. Short fine leg, deep square leg, deep mid wicket and long on the leg side. So lots of space in the circle on the leg side. Emma's going to come round the wicket. This one's played through the offside. It's dabbed to point for a single. I think Lamb's just trying to cramp the batters up here, coming round the wicket. Hopefully get one to spin back straight and maybe hit the pads or the stumps of the batter. Mid wicket's been brought into the circle on the leg side now. So 4-5 fielder for the off spinner. Play and miss there, and then the question of a stumping. Ellie Threlkeld would like it, but Gabby Brown didn't. Not out the decision there. Lamb, tap at the bat. Dragged down this time by Lamb. It's been swept away. They're going to come back for 2. Good parry from Virapulli, preventing the boundary there. That would have ran away for 4, I'm sure. Virapulli getting a hand on it, and Stephen then helping her colleague out, getting the ball back in. Lamb round the wicket once again. Driven hard at mid-off, and there'll be no run. Tara Norris doing the fielding there. Just the 3 runs scored from 4 deliveries in this over so far. Lamb's in and played slightly unconventionally there from Jones. Kind of going back to a ball she probably wanted to come forward to. Not easy starting against spin. Deep cover comes in now. Long off goes out. There's Lamb expecting something. Well, she's dragged that one down. It's going to be swept hard into the leg side, but she picks a fielder out, so it'd just be a single. 9 gone here at Lady Bay. The Blaze are 62 for 2. Conference between the 2 batters and a punch of the gloves, and conference between 4-5 Thunder players there, with bowler Virapulli at the centre of it. She's going to continue from the hockey end. She's going to bowl the 10th, opting for this 4-5 field. Virapulli in, floats it up, play and miss. Keeper Threlkeld in the game again, asking for the stump, and she throws her head back there when she is denied by the square leg umpire Paul Baldwin. I don't think Jones was moved there. Virapulli, what's she got this time? Floats it up again, swept hard by Jones. He's going to bounce once in front of deep square leg, so it'll be another single. Jones very proficient with the sweeps and the ramps and the laps, both conventionally and reverse. Sarah Bryce back on strike. Down the track, has to check a drive. Venus Virapulli fielding off her own ball in there, preventing the single. Virapulli in, played off the back foot this time, into the leg side. Just be a single though. Oh, they might think about seconds, a little bit of a misfield, but it's recovered in the end by Darcy Carter. So Lancashire just wrestling a bit of the momentum back. Not been a boundary for a few overs. Blaze will be looking to get a bit more of that momentum through boundaries as the innings goes on. As this one's floated up like the wrong gun, pulled into the leg side into a big pocket. They should think about coming back for 2 here. They do. Good fielding in the deep, but it can't prevent the 2. Change of field for the back end of the over here. They're opting for a long on and a long off, and bringing that cover fielder inside the circle as Virapulli floats that one up, and play and miss on the sweep there. hit Jones very high up, and Gabby Brown not interested in that one. So that's the end of the 10th. We're halfway through the 20, and the Blaze are 66 for 2. Captain Threlkel not letting these Blaze batters settle at all, chopping and changing the bowling. I'm sure that's to just upset the rhythm of the batters. So Sophie Morris is back on with her left arm orthodox. She's in now and really full there, and Rice had to jam her back down on that so she didn't get bowled. In once again and down the leg side. I think that flicked the thigh pad of Bryce. No movement from the umpire, so a dot ball, 2 dots to start this Morris over. She started her last over with a boundary, so she'll be happy with that. Again, darted into the legs of Bryce there, and another dot ball, so 3 dots to start the 11th over. Well, this one is down the leg side, attempted sweep, but it evades everything, so that will be a leg side wide. A slight blemish on this over from Morris. 3 dots and then a wide, or 2 wides in fact, with the run single 2. So that brings Jones back on strike. Hit hard into the leg side, high up the ground to Kate Cross, who's dragged out off the boundary from long gone to retrieve the ball. So just a single. Morris floats this one and bowls. Sarah Bryce goes across a straight one there. Good piece of bowling from Sophie Morris. She's bowled a couple, really darted in to the Scottish international, and then just give that one an extra bit of air. Did for Sarah Bryce in the flight there, as she is dismissed on the sweep shot. And again, bowlers saying if you miss, we will hit. The Blaze are 69 for 3 in the 11th. Michaela Kirk, the new batter. Not seen too much of her due to injury. Good to see her back on the field. Number 25 on her back. She's just scratching her mark now. She's got 1 ball to negotiate in this over from Sophie Morris. Morris is in. Okay, just back foot punching that into the offside for no run. So that concludes the 11th over. Blaze 69 for 3. Thunder just wrestling a bit of momentum back here. Looks like we're going to see another bowling change. Darcy Carter is going to bowl. Seems like spin is the order of the day through these middle overs. Bit of off spin from Scottish international. Carter floats this one up and driven aerially, opened the face beautifully there. Did Emma Jones, so boundary to start Carter's first over. And a much needed boundary from Blaze point of view. Haven't scored a boundary since the 7th over. Carter in again, drags this one down. It's be pulled aerially into leg side. It's going to drop short of both fielders. It'll just be a single. Carter change of field now for Michaela Kirk. She's gone with the offside boundary fielder at deep cover. The ever-present long on deep mid-wicket, deep square leg, stationed on the leg side. Carter's in and full, driven on the up from Kirk, but she can't get it through the offside for a run. Mistimed sweep there, but it's going to evade the fielder, and Virapuli in the end misfields it, so they'll come back for 2, maybe 3. They do. Great running from Emma Jones there, almost lapping her colleague because Kirk had to get off her knees after playing the sweep shot, but Jones was going to the danger end, so valuable 3 there. Just keeps the Blaze scoreboard ticking. A little break in play now as well, because Threlkeld sprints up to a bowler to have a little chat about fielding positions perhaps, or tactics. Well, we know what it was about now. They decided to come round the wicket, trying to cramp Emma Jones up, which we've seen from Emma Lamb, who did the same when she bowled. Deep cover comes into the circle and long off goes out. 2 balls left in this over. Carter, oh, full toss. Hit down into the ground. Will it split the 2 fields on the leg side? No, it won't, but they will come back for 2. So Blaze running really well here, trying to eke out every run they can. And a no ball given by umpire Brown. So that delivery worth 3. And the next delivery will be a free hit.
Next ball is a free hit.
Jones remains on strikes. The field can't change. Carter's in, and lofted drive, elegant drive over the top of extra cover. 1 bounce 4. Beautiful shot from Emma Jones there. Picked that out perfectly. Carter just a little bit too wide there. Needed to cramp Jones up for space. The long levers, as we mentioned, of Emma Jones coming very handy. She just lifts that over the offside for 4. And that momentum just swinging back in Blaze's favour. 84 for 3, with 1 delivery remaining in the 12th. Carter in, full toss, ramped, straight down the throat of short fine leg though. Good piece of fielding from Venus Virapuli. Safe pair of hands on this occasion. And Emma Jones throws her head back because she knows that was almost catching practice for Virapuli. Guided it straight down her throat. And Lancashire buy themselves a wicket there, a much needed wicket, and the removal of the very dangerous Emma Jones, who departs for 18. Blaze 84 for 3 after 12. Ella Claridge, the new batter, she's going to take the gloves today as well. Wicket keeper batter. Chances have been limited for her. the strength and depth of this Blaze side. Of course, Amy Jones, wicket-keeper, Sarah Bryce, also wicket-keeper. But chance here, 8 overs to go, coming in at 6. Perfect platform for Claridge to showcase her skills as she hits a low full toss into the offside for no run. To end the 12th over, Blaze 84 for 4. Apologies, I said that was the end of the 12th a moment ago, but I think I miscalculated that free hit from that no ball. So 12 gone now though, 84 for 4. Something of a rebuild for the Blaze after grappling back that momentum with a couple of lusty blows from Emma Jones. Going to see Seam reintroduced here from the Thunder. Tara Norris, I suspect, will bowl left arm round the wicket through these middle to late overs, as we see a lot of left arm seamers do, trying to cramp up right-handed batters. Michaela Kirk is on strike. Deep fine leg, deep mid wicket and deep square leg on the leg side. This one's driven up to mid on for no run. Kate Cross doing the fielding. Kirk 3 not out. Taps her bat as Norris is in, and this one's whipped into the leg side aerially. Emma Lamb coming round, but she can't stop the ball as it skips away for 4 more runs. Kirk just teasing the angles of the fielders here, getting enough wrist work on that to get it fine enough down the leg side to access that boundary, a much needed boundary for the Blaze. They'll want to get way past 140 on a small ground here, I would suggest, as Norris is in and back on the money here as Kirk has to check her drive. Stephen will cut off the single. Current run rate 7.14, so they're on track for 140 as I mentioned, but I imagine they'll want much more than that as they get into these death overs. Norris driven over the top here from Kirk. It evades Kate Cross by about a foot, jumping as high as she could. So that's the risk. You bring long on and long off inside the circle. If you're slightly over pitch and the bats can get that elevation, it's pretty risk-free and access to the boundary rope. So Kirk double boundaries here in this over. Pressure back on Norris after that fantastic start and tone she set for the Thunder. What answer has she got here? 5th ball of this over coming in, pulled into the leg side. Almost hit too well from Kirk because gets to the fielder in double quick time and can only be a single. 93 for 4. 1 ball remaining in the 13th. Ella Claridge facing her second ball, but the first ball she'll have faced from Tara Norris, who's coming over the wicket to a USA colleague. And a ramp, a very fine ramp, almost a paddle, tickled down to that fine leg boundary for 4 runs. So a boundary to end the 13th over. Blaze 97 for 4, and a deft bit of batting there from Ella Claridge. Just shuffling across and almost just offering that bat like a little frying pan and just helping it on its way. Another conference between bowler and captain. Venus Wirapuli is going to come back on. have used 6 bowlers now, so be interesting which bowlers they opt to bowl full 4. Some perhaps will bowl 2 and 3s. Obviously a maximum of 4 could be allotted for a bowler. So 13 gone, 97 for 4. We know Wirapuli, she's 1 for 12 from her 2 so far. She's in now and swept hard behind square leg for 4-1. Grace Potts perfectly placed there at deep backward square leg. Claridge on strike. She plays almost an identical square sweep as her colleague Michaela Kirk. Takes another single. So Wirapuli not being able to settle on a length here. She'll probably want to get that line a little bit more towards off stump. She's in floaty. It's a full toss. It's been swept hard for 4. It evades Grace Potts at deep backward square leg. Kirk just able to get that slightly in front of square and access that boundary. That brings up the Blaze 100 as well. 103 for 4 after 13.3 overs, and pressure on Wirapuli in this over. 6 from 3 so far in this over. She drags this one slightly down. I think it was the attempted googly, and it's cut away for a single. Run rate starting to climb up to 7.63. So 140 now becomes 150 as a projected total as Wirapuli. Looks like that was an attempted googly as well. Jammed out by Claridge, no run. We are stationed at deep gow corner here in the media tent, so trying to pick leg spinners is pretty difficult from here. Wirapuli spinning the ball in her hands and runs in, and this one's lofted over the top of mid-off, and it's going to scurry away again for 4. Not a completely convincing shot from Claridge, but she's got the long levers and committed to it, and got enough elevation to access that boundary. So a boundary to finish the 14th. And Blaze just starting to put their foot on the accelerator here. 108 for 4 after 14. As that run rate starts to climb furthermore towards that 8 mark. I'm sure they would be really happy with a 160 plus score. You had the feeling, the pace that they were going at after the power play leading up to the 12th over, where Lancashire had pegged them back a little bit, that maybe a 140 to 150 score, but Blaze will be looking for something in around that 160 plus mark from here, as Michaela Kirk hits a full toss from Sophie Morris into the leg side. They'll think about 2 and will come. No, Kirk turns the second down and sends Ella Claridge back. Good fielding there from Darcy Carter at deep mid-wicket, deterring the return for the second run. Sophie Morris full again, but jammed out this time by Ella Claridge. They'll just get a single, probably missed out on a second there. Claridge just trotted through for that first one, I think a bit more intent, getting into the crease and out to have a look, and I think she would have come back for a second comfortably. Kirk on strike nevertheless. Down the leg side. Good glove work from Ellie Threlkeld. No movement from the umpires. It must have flicked something on the way past. Morris floats this one up. Again, doesn't hit the pitch. So low full toss. Bunted down to Long gone for a single, and Kirk throws a head back there because he wanted that to go a little bit wider of long gone into that big pocket between deep mid wicket and long gone. Claridge back on strike, full again, driven into the offside. It'll just be a single. Extra cover cutting the runs off there. Eve Jones doing the fielding at extra cover. So Kirk comes back on strike, a bit dartier this time, turning to leg side. He's going to tease the leg side fielders, but they won't get back for 2, so keep it at 1. So 5 singles from that over. Good control from Morris. Plays 113 for 4 after 15. And you would think with the depth and experience of this Blaze batting lineup, 6 wickets in hand, 5 overs to go, that the Blaze can put their foot on that accelerator furthermore now. Lancashire Thunder opting for more spin here. They're going to bring Emma Lamb back to bowl some off spin. She's going to come round the wicket. Michaela Kirk on strike. What field have we got here? It's going to be a 5-4 field. Short third, backward point. Darted down, pulled into the leg side, way behind square leg for 4 runs. So great start for the Blaze, but not what Emma Lamb would have wanted there. With having 5 fielders on the offside, she can't afford to give the batters room to get their hands through the ball to access the leg side. Pressure back on Lamb here as this one's whipped into the leg side. Very straight of that mid-wicket boundary rider, and 4 more runs to Michaela Kirk and the Blaze. Emma Lamb asking a lot of herself here with just 4 fielders on the leg side, of which only 1 is inside the circle, and that's short fine leg. Deep backward square leg, deep mid-wicket and a long gone. There's big pockets, big gaps. Lamb again. Kirk this time goes over the offside. She's not got enough of this, and she's going to pick out mid-off. Tara Norris with a safe pair of hands there. So Michaela Kirk will depart for 29. Blaze reduced to 1-2-1 for 5 now. Kirk throws a head back there. Bit of frustration, I'm sure, for her after getting a pretty good start for herself. But she's pressed her team on here with a very healthy run rate, and has selflessly continued to try and accumulate the runs for a team, but didn't quite get enough of that one. Kirsty Gordon, the skipper, coming out at number 7. Kirsty Gordon, more than capable with the bat. She certainly be described as a lower order batter rather than a tail ender, perhaps batting 1 spot higher than she normally does in this Blaze side, but that's because of the amount of depth they have, and the all-rounders perhaps thinking they want to play an extra bowler today because they feel with a small ground, good batting surface, that 6 recognised batters is enough. Well, she's in now. Turns this one into the leg side, and she's off the mark. 1-2-2 for 5. 2 to come in the 16th. Emma Lamb was under pressure there after 2 boundaries in 2 balls in her second over. She's broke up the play with that wicket. Claridge back on strike. This one turned into the leg side. In front of square, so they might think about a second, but Grace Potts is alert to that and gains some metres back and deters the second run. Claridge is 11 from 7, or 12 from 8 in fact. Captain Gordon back on strike. She's turned this into the leg side. She's going to be happy with 1. based on the intent of that run, or trot, probably a better way to describe it. That's the end of the 16th. So the Blaze 1, 2, 4 for 5. 4 overs remain here. Still 5 wickets in hand. When will Blaze press the pedal harder? Do they go now and accept that they can burn a few wickets trying to get a big score, or do they just tease the Thunder for an over or 2 more before trying to go long? Grace Potts is going to come back with her right arm seam. Ellie Threlkeld's going to stand up to her. Just 2 out on the leg side. Oh no, 3. Long off. Long on has stayed inside the circle, so fine leg, deep square leg and deep mid wicket on the leg side as Potts is in, and this one's driven through the offside. But it'll be no run. Eve Jones perfectly placed there on the edge of the circle at extra cover. Lovely check drive there from Kirsty Gordon for no run. Deep cover is the 4th fielder outside the circle, so a short third, backward point, extra cover, mid off on the offside as Potts is in, back of a length and just dabbed into that cover point region where Gordon can take a single. Happy to give the strike to Claridge, who you could say is the more set batter, albeit she's only faced 8 deliveries for her 12 runs, a very good strike rate. Lancashire just wrestling the run rate back as well. It was heading towards the 8 mark. It's now slightly reduced to 7.67, so 150 very much on from here. Potts in, back of a length again, slashed at by Claridge and a false shot induced, but it's 4 runs nevertheless. 4 important runs to the Blaze total. Blaze 129 for 5. Just a little bit of width offered from Grace Potts there. And albeit the shot wasn't particularly convincing, it does give Claridge licence to throw her hands at the ball. What response will we have from Potts? She's up past the umpire now, bangs this one in and it's pulled into the leg side. Bit of work for deep square leg to do. There's a fumble, but it's recovered really well from Emma Lamb, so just a single. 6 from this over so far, 2 balls remaining as we approach the 17th over. Blaze 130 for 5. Captain Gordon on strike. Tap of the bat. Potts is in and she's cleaned up Captain Gordon there. So another wicket goes for the Blaze. She just got pushed back on the crease, did Kirsty Gordon. Trying to be perhaps a little bit cute there, running it off the face of the bat. So Potts picks up her first wicket of the day. She's 1 for 21 from 2.5. So 1 ball remaining in the 17th. Blaze 130 for 6. Josie Groves is the new batter, coming in at 8. Not seen too much of her given the depth of this Blaze side. Very, very useful leg spinner and very, very useful batter as well. England under-19 representative at that inaugural World Cup in South Africa 4 years ago, or approaching 4 years ago. Couple of taps of the bat for her as Potts is on her way. She bangs this one in, play and miss. Tidy glove work again from skipper Threlkeld. So that's the end of the 17th. 130 for 6 are the Blaze. 3 remain, 4 wickets in hand, so still a bit of licence for the Blaze to put their foot on that metal.
Bowling from the river end, number 27, Venus Virapuli.
So Venus Virapuli to return from the river end. So another chop and change. Bowlers rarely bowling 2 overs in a row. Virapuli with a wrist spin over the wicket, floats this one up. It's swept aerially, kind of got under that. Did Claridge. It'll bounce a couple of times and the ball will be retrieved in the deep, so it's just a single. Brings the new batter Groves on strike. Leg spinner to leg spinner here. Virapuli bowling her 4th over. Pulled away from Groves, gives herself room there. Has she accessed that deep pocket at Cow Corner? Yes, she does. Important runs at the end of this Blaze innings. Blaze will want the momentum going into the interval. It'll be a quick turnaround here, just 10 minutes before the Blaze will be bowling at the conclusion of this 20 overs in the first innings. Pressure back on bowler Virapuli here. Over the wicket she comes. Floated up, driven aerially, down to long off. It'll just be a single. Six from the over. Sorry, yes, 6 from the over with 3 to come. Blaze will really want to maximise this over, put the pressure back on the Thunder. Claridge sweeps hard again. She gets this backward of square, but straight at the fielder, perfectly placed. One bounce into the hands of Grace Potts. So another single to Blaze. Another single to Claridge. She's now 19 from 12. Very healthy strike rate from her. Groves 5 from 3. Very healthy strike rate from her too. 2 remain in the 18th. Driven aerially up to long off again. It'll bounce in front of the fielder for another single. 2 balls remaining in Virapuli's spell. She'll want to get out of this with damage limitation. Absolutely no boundaries from her point of view. Floats this one up, swept aerially again. Has she got enough of it? The diving Tilika Stephen full stretch can't grab hold of it, so they'll come back for 2. It was always evading the fielder there. So that's the end of the 18th. Sorry, my scoreboard was behind by 1 there. I was saying there was 2 left, there was 1 left. So that's the end of the 18th. 140 for 6 from 18. Two overs remain. I think it's very much a licence to thrill here for the Blaze. Sophie Morris with her left arm orthodox darts it in. Be jammed out by Josie Groves up to long on for a single. It brings the more recognised batter in Ella Claridge onto strike. Claridge 21 from 13. Waiting for Morris. Whipped into the leg side, but it'll pick out Darcy Carter at deep mid-wicket. Just the single. Blaze will want to finish strong here and access those boundaries. Just to lift that run rate up. Lift the total above 150 as Morris is in. Turned into the leg side. Has she got the angle right there? Not quite. Deep square leg comes round to retrieve, so another single. Taking what is on offer at the moment, but they'll want to finish with a couple of lusty blows here, the Blaze. Morris very economical, 1 for 16 from her 3.3 so far. This one's swept behind square. This one may run away It evades Venus Wirapuli. And it's a great effort from Emma Lamb coming round from deep square leg, but it's 4 nevertheless. So just what the doctor would have ordered there for the Blaze. A needed boundary just to keep that run rate going, to keep that total pressing ahead of 150. Well, they're 147 for 6 now. 2 remain. Can Morris get out the over? Half volley, driven beautifully. Misses extra cover and long off, cannot get round to that. So 2 boundaries in 2 balls for Claridge. And the Blaze go past 150. 151 for 6. 1 remaining in the 19th. And Morris is going to be economical in the context of the game, nevertheless, but she's now potentially looking at a much higher economy rate, as this one is mistimed into the leg side off the sweep. 152 for 6 from 19. Sophie Morris finishes 1 for 26 from her 4. Couple of boundaries at the end of her spell, just spoiling her figures ever so slightly, but economical nevertheless on a small ground. Bowling spin. Run rate exactly 8. 152 for 6. Really hard to say what a good score is here, because it's not the biggest ground, but it's not the smallest ground, and we've seen the ball run away very quickly. Obviously 4 fielders only allowed outside the circle. Makes it hard to cover those big pockets in the outfield. Grace Potts will finish the Lancashire innings from a bowling point of view. She's 1 for 21 from her 3 so far. She's in and she's ramped, but that's gone straight up in the air, and short fine leg will catch that one. Venus Wirapuli greatly receives the catch. Ella Claridge will have to depart. Shuffled across there, long way. Perhaps just a little bit too much that she got under it and took the sting out of the pace of Potts. But a very, very useful innings. 31 from her, 18 deliveries faced. And very selflessly chasing the boundaries, and the runs at the end of the innings has perished to the bowling of Grace Potts. So, Lucy Hyam, another more than capable lower order batter. Experience in the 100 across multiple teams now. And a seasoned campaigner with the Blaze. What will she do here? Will she just look to get Josie Groves back on strike, or will she just try and give it a crack herself? Potts is in. Well, that's an elegant back foot drive into the offside. It'll just be a single. She ran the first one incredibly hard. It's a good piece of fielding by Eve Jones. Four balls remain. 153 for 7. Groves back on strike. She's got under that. She got enough of it. Long on, sets herself. And it's a comfortable catch. Kate Cross greatly receiving that catch. And Josie Groves, for a second I thought she had enough of it. Slightly too much elevation in the end. Again, Blaze just chasing the runs in the right way, just picking out the fielder again on this occasion. But handy little cameo from Groves there, who got on with it. But 2 wickets falling in this final over for the Blaze, perhaps losing a little bit of momentum as they go into the very short interval we'll have here at Lady Bay. Now it's time for a bit of fun, isn't it? 3 balls to come. And Grace Ballinger, the left-handed batter, we don't get to see her bat too often. Is going to have a little crack at this. Bowler versus bowler here. Grace Potts, right arm over the wicket. Down the track, giving it a big heave, does Grace Ballinger, but she doesn't connect. So a valuable dot ball from a Thunder point of view. Long off inside the circle now. Can Ballinger get up over the top of that fielder? Well, she's targeted straight. Has she got it straight enough? She has indeed. Long on came round there, but that was gun barrel straight from the tail ender. Sure she'll be chatting about that in the sheds later. Number 10 hitting the ball straight back at the sight screen. Gave herself a little bit of room. An invaluable boundary as this Blaze innings is about to close out. 157 for 8 with 1 ball remaining. I'm sure Ballinger will be looking to elevate the ball again. Play and miss. They're going to come through for a bye and they'll get there safely. Threlkeld misses her attempt at the stump. In fact, it's been given a wide. It's been given a wide. Lucy Hyam was almost walking off then. Umpire Gabby Brown outstretches her arms and the Blaze will get another delivery. So 158 for 8. Lucy Hyam, 1 ball to play. Potts is on her way, right arm over the wicket, looking to ramp this one. Doesn't make contact. They're going to take the bye, and it's been given. Ellie Threlkeld threw at the set of stumps nearest to her, missed it. It ended up going to the bowler at the bowler's end, and Lucy Hyam dived outstretch. In fact, I beg your pardon, the umpire raised a hand for a bye. I got confused there. I thought she'd given it out. They've given a bye. So Blaze get to 160 for 8 exactly. The run rate teetered between 7s and 8s throughout the whole innings. That tells a story in itself. So at the interval, the Thunder women will require 161. We've got a quick change around here at Lady Bay. Pick of the bowlers for Thunder. Grace Potts picking up 3 wickets, I beg your pardon, for 28 runs, and then wickets shared around, 1 apiece for Norris, Morris, Virapuli, Lamb and Carter. Kay Cross the only bowler not to take a wicket. So 161 the Thunder require for a place at finals day, which will be at Old Trafford. Will it be the Red Rose County or will it be the Fire of the Blaze? We'll be back in around 8 or 9 minutes. We shall see you then. Welcome back, everybody. Sun is shining here at Lady Bay. We're across the road from Radcliffe Road and Trent Bridge this afternoon for this T20 County Cup quarter-final. Essentially an eliminator. Winner goes to finals day at Old Trafford in a few weeks' time. Lancashire Thunder women will need to get 161 if they want to go and play their final on their home ground, or finals day, 2 semis and a final. The Blaze will need to defend 160. The run rate was pretty steady throughout the whole innings. Overs going for the run rate, teetering between 7 and 8 through the whole innings steadily. And everyone chipped in, really. There was a wicket maiden, would you believe it, to start the innings from Tara Norris. Marie Kelly departing second ball of the game without scoring, but Sarah Bryce scored 22. Her sister and Scotland colleague Catherine Bryce scored 33. Emma Jones chipped in with 18. Michaela Kirk 29. Ella Claridge 31, all making double figures. The engine room of that batting order doing the damage, but is it enough? We'll soon find out. The Thunder skipper Ellie Threlkeld was happy to chop and change the bowl in. A lot of spin used. 6 bowlers in total were used. Very rarely did we see bowlers bowl more than 1 over in a spell. Opening up for the Blaze will be Grace Ballinger with her left arm seamers. We are going to have Emma Lamb and Eve Jones open the batting. Both very experienced campaigners with experience for England. It's going to be Eve Jones, the left-hander, to face up to the left arm of Grace Ballinger. 2 permitted outside the circle in this power play. Ballinger is in for the first ball. Straight on the money as Jones checks her forward defensive straight back to the bowler for no run. We've got we've got third out of the circle. And deep backward square leg on the leg side. Ballinger will be looking to get any shape on offer to go away from the left-hander here. As she's in and beats Jones, who looked like she had a little shuffle down the pitch there. So 2 dots to start this innings. Ballinger bangs this one in. He'll be pulled well in front of square for 4. Emphatic, clinical from Eve Jones. A long hop from Ballinger there. Just lost a rhythm, lost a timing at the crease and dragged it down. Difficult to set fields to that kind of ball, especially in the power play when you only allow 2 fielders out. Ballinger, what response has she got? It's a pretty good one. Dot ball, full and straight. Just asking Jones to play straight. Giving her no room to get her hands through the ball. But she has shuffled down the pitch a couple of times. So we're going to see Ella Claridge come and stand up to the left arm seamer. Something we're seeing more and more frequent across the men's and the women's game against seam bowling, regardless of what pace you bowl. Ballinger in, pulled, got it very straight there, and that was almost a run out. Marie Kelly doing the fielding at mid-on, and Jones wasn't particularly urgent there at getting down the non-striker's end. Missed time pull, didn't get that where she wanted to. But it's a run nevertheless for the Thunder. So Emma Lamb will face her first delivery of the game. The last ball in this first over. Grace Ballinger is the bowler. Thunder 5 without loss. Down the leg side. Bit of semantics there from Grace Ballinger, claiming for a little glove, a little tickle down the leg side, trying to prevent the wide perhaps, but Paul Baldwin signals the wide there. So 1 ball still to come in this over. Ballinger skipping in. Down the leg side again, it'll be another wide. So the right hand, left hand partnership just unsettling Grace Ballinger here. Ballinger on the money this time, but worked into the leg side for an easy single. Mid-wicket coming round to do the fielding at square leg. So, Thunder 7 without loss after 1 over. Of course, the Blaze were none for 1 at this stage. But what matters is what is the score after 20 overs in this Thunder innings. 161 is the target. The run rate is perfect, but they need 19 more overs of that. Blaze will be looking to get as many wickets in this power play as possible, take the sting out of this Thunder batting unit. Cassidy McCarthy's going to bowl from the River End, first time in a Blaze shirt this year. We didn't see her on Wednesday. I think she's still building her bowling loads up in time for the business end of this 50 over season that will commence again next week. So, Cassidy McCarthy, right arm over the wicket, bustles in, turned into the leg side, fine leg will cut it off. Shape into the right-handed batter there from Cassidy McCarthy. McCarthy, a product of the Vipers Academy, moved to Loughborough University and has settled in the East Midlands, and very much an integral part of this Blaze bowling attack now. She's going to come round the wicket straight away to left-handed Eve Jones. She'll probably look to dart the ball in and then taper it away at the last minute. Challenge both edges of the bat, depending on what these new white Kookaburra balls do. We've got a deep point and a deep square leg on the boundary. Everybody else inside, including a gully and a very short third. McCarthy in, and the first ball to the left-handed Jones will be a wide. Again, another example of right hand, left hand, just disrupting bowlers' rhythms, disrupting their lines and lengths. McCarthy in, slashed away from Jones. She's going to get this behind point. Oh, what a diving stop. Emma Jones out there Looked like it was just sliced and spinning away from Emma Jones, and then full stretch dive, preventing the 4. But not only preventing the 4, actually prevented 2 there. So just 1 scored from that delivery. McCarthy bangs this one in. Mistimed pull from Emma Lamb. It trickles through to the keeper. No run. McCarthy. Full this time, but on the pads ever so slightly of Emma Lamb, who works this into the leg side. They're going to come back for 2. No, turned down in the end. And then some good fielding as it was fizzed in. It was well backed up in the end by Captain Gordon. She stayed on the ground for a second, but she's up now and smiling. A bit happening here with this right hand, left hand. Fielders trotting from the leg side to the offside. Bit of disruption. Under 12 without loss in the second. 2 balls to come. McCarthy, ball in hand, round the wicket. Play and miss. That one shaped. Emma Lamb looks at the bowler and back at her partner and says, yep, that one shaped away. McCarthy's in. Fuller this time, driven beautifully up the ground. 4 runs to the Thunder. Slightly aerially for a second, but it split mid-off and mid-on, hit the advertising hoardings. And a valuable power play boundary for the Thunder. 16 for none after 2. And the Thunder are teasing the blaze here. 8 from the first, 8 from the second. The run rate required is effectively exactly 8, plus 1 more run to get to 161. Can they do that 18 more times? Can Blaze stem the run flow? Can they build pressure? Can they take wickets? Grace Ballinger will continue. She'll look to try and shake this one into the pads of the right-handed Emma Lamb. What a valuable wicket that would be in the power play. England experience, season campaigner for the Red Rose County. Deep backward square leg. Stationed and 3rd. And that's why Emma Lamb has shuffled across to that vacant fine leg area to ramp it, but she hasn't got enough of it, so it'll just be 2. Lucy Hyam coming round from deep square leg, but Emma Lamb getting creative. Ballinger's in. Lamb stands tall and bunts that one back to the bowler. Better areas from Ballinger. Bustling bowler is Grace Ballinger. Wears a heart on her sleeve. She chucks the ball up in the air and skips into a mark. She's on her way, left arm over the wicket. And again a ramp. This time it goes to the offside. I think the attempt was to go to the leg side, but it's a single nevertheless. 3rd man doing the fielding, Casty McCarthy stationed down there. So Emma Lamb willing to take risks, albeit the reward of a vacant area for 4 on offer. It just continues to unsettle this Blaze bowling attack. 19 without loss, Thunder, as orders are being given from Kirsty Gordon here, changing the field again. What have we got? We've got 5 on the offside to the left-handed Eve Jones here. Backward point, cover point, extra cover on the circle, then a short extra cover and a mid-off. This one's pulled into the leg side and it's been misfielded by deep square leg. Cassidy McCarthy's fumbled that one over the ropes for 4. Frustration from a captaincy point of view. You set your boundary fielders in the right place and then they don't execute, but also from a bowling point of view, 5 fielders on the offside getting hit into the leg side isn't really playing to the percentages. So pressure on Ballinger to get out of this over as she's in. Left arm over the wicket and squares Eve Jones up this time. There's an appeal for leg before wicket there, but pretty sure that sounded like wood. Eve Jones just gesturing to the bowler that hit her bat. Either that or she's got a wooden leg. One more to come in the third. Ballinger skipping in. Eve Jones waits. Pulled straight. It's going to get through the gap. Splits mid-wicket and mid-on. 4 more runs. And a boundary to end the third over for the Thunder. And it bucks the trend ever so slightly. 8 from the first, 8 from the second. Single there would have made it 8 from the third, but instead the over goes for 11 with that boundary to conclude the third over. 27 without loss, Thunder. Ever so slightly ahead of the rate. Long way to go, of course. In fact, the run rate's exactly 9. Can't even do maths. Cassidy McCarthy's going to continue. Something we didn't see in the Thunder bowling innings was bowlers bowl 2 overs in a row that often, but McCarthy's in. She's full, and this has been squeezed through extra cover for 4 more runs. So double boundaries, 1 from each end for the Thunder. And a bit of pressure on the Blaze here at the moment. Just ever so slightly full from Cassidy McCarthy, and Lamb didn't try to overhit it, just opened her face at the very end and got it through that gap for 4. McCarthy in, what's the response? Down the leg side, it's been tickled fine. A lot of work to be done here by fine leg. 4 more runs to Thunder. 3 boundaries in a row for the Thunder, and momentum very much with the Red Rose County at the moment. Radar all over the place from Cassidy McCarthy at the start of this 4th over for her, or 4th over for the Blaze, 2nd over for her. Fine leg is, well, it's more of a long leg, the angle, so the fine tickle from Emma Lamb meant Grace Ballinger had a lot of work to do down on the boundary edge. We have a change of field now. Grace Ballinger's being asked to come inside the circle. Deep square legs being sent out, and deep point has gone out on the offside. And then that plan's been changed, mugging everybody off, so deep square has come back in, and fine leg has gone back out. The previous plan would have suggested short ball. Will she double bluff and go for it anyway? McCarthy's in, she's gone full. Driven on the up, picks the fielder out. No run. Much needed dot ball for the Blaze. Kirsty McCarthy will want to get out of this over now unscathed. 2 boundaries to start it. She needs some dots. She needs to minimise boundaries. McCarthy in, worked into the leg side, beats mid-wicket. This is going to be 4 more. McCarthy just targeting the stumps there, going searching a little bit, and it was a bit of a misfield as well from Catherine Bryce at mid-wicket. Sloppy cricket from the Blaze, meaning Thunder getting off to a flyer here. 39 without loss from 3.4. Almost, well, over 10 and over. Can they claw it back with these last 2 deliveries in the 4th? Down the track, banged in, pulled away fine. Bit of work for Ballinger to do again. She cuts it off and prevents the batter's run returning for the second, so just 1. 40 without loss. Now that fine leg comes inside the circle, and deep square leg and deep point are stationed on the boundary edge. McCarthy, top of the mark, round the wicket to the left-handed Eve Jones. Driven to extra cover for no run, so dot ball to finish the 4th. The run rate is exactly 10 runs per over. 40 without loss are the Red Rose County Lancashire Thunder.
Number 24, Kirsty Gordon.
So, not sure this was in the plan for Kirsty Gordon to bowl herself so early in the power play. Sorry, lost the sound for a second there. Kirsty Gordon then has introduced herself. I'm not sure this was part of the plan. Left arm round the wicket. She induces the edge. Fielders are chasing. Will they pull it up short? No, they won't. So another boundary leaked from a Blaze point of view. Another boundary collected from a Thunder point of view. We do see Kirsty Gordon sometimes bowling the power play in 50 over cricket. It's obviously slightly less expansive than the T20 game, but Gordon thinks that she's the person to break this partnership and get some inroads into this Thunder batting lineup. Floats this one up, ends up being a full toss, but it's a dot ball as mid-wicket is picked out. Catherine Bryce, the fielder, at mid-wicket. Gordon on the pads there, going down the leg side. Dot ball, valuable dot ball. That run rate below 7.5, so Thunder earning the swing here of getting that run rate down by half a run already. So this one's turned into the leg side for another run. 45 without loss, the Thunder. 4.4 overs gone here at Lady Bay. Gordon's going to bowl at Eve Jones for the first time. Left-hander, of course. Deep mid-wicket. Deep, long on are the 2 boundary riders. She's going to stay round the wicket. Opens the face there, and there's a bit of running to be done for Lucy Hyam, a backward point. And the Thunder pair come back for 2. Gordon in. Pushing Jones back in her crease. And that is the end of the 5th. 47 without loss are the Thunder. One over remaining in this power play. Going to see double spin here. Lucy Hyam's going to come on and bowl some off spin from the river end.
Bowling from the river end, number 7, Lucy Hyam.
Deep mid-wicket and long on to the fielders again. Right-handed Emma Lamb on strike. Hyam over the wicket. Swept controllably in front of square for a single from Emma Lamb. Getting a head and a hand right out to the ball there. Winning the space, smothering the spin. Left-hander on strike in Eve Jones. Deep mid-wicket goes out again, and that could just be it, in fact. No, long off is probably 10, 12 yards off the rope outside the circle. Full toss, hit over long on, or mid on, and again it's going to run away for 4. Marie Kelly went to ground there by the rope, but the attempt was in vain.
That's a 50 partnership for Eve Jones and Emma Lamb from 32 balls.
Thunder press on here, punishing anything. Cut away this time, good fielding. Kirsty, lost me. Or I can't hear me. Sorry, lost the sound there for a moment. Sorry for any technical issues. But we've had a wicket during that technical issue. Eve Jones has to depart. Stumped by Ella Claridge. Off the bowling of Lucy Hyam.
Stumped by Ella Claridge on the bowling of Lucy Hyam. The next batter is number 45, Tilly Kesterman.
So Tilly Kesteven will join Emma Lamb at the crease. Left-hander replaced by left-hander, so that's going to continue to disrupt the blaze if Kesteven gets going here. Stephen obviously burst onto the scene in the finals of County Cup Day last year, and then has been in and out the side due to a hip injury. So good to see her back wearing the red rose of Lancashire. She cuts this one away and is off the mark. So that's the end of the 6th, the end of the power play, an eventful over. Technical issues and wickets. But the Thunder are 53 for 1. And I don't know if you picked that up from the ground announcer, but he's helping me out with stats now. The Blaze were also 53 for 1 at the end of the 6th over. Kirsty Gordon's going to continue then. One thing that changes now, though, is that the Blaze are allowed 4 fielders out for the remainder of the game. Stephen will be on strike. Gordon's in. Stephen is on the front foot with a straight blade. And there'll be no run. Got a deep cover on the offside. Just 4 fielders on the offside. Gordon in again, swept hard to that deep square leg fielder. Josie Groves doing the fielding. So Stephen happy to tickle it along. Good for the youngster this, that they're ahead of the run rate. She can perhaps knock it around without taking too many risks. Equally, Emma Lamb can do the same really, but she does it from a position of already scoring 25 runs and getting the Thunder off to a flyer. Deep backward square and deep mid wicket on the leg side, as well as long on, as Lamb just drops that into the offside for another single. And that's what I'm talking about. Thunder will be looking to just take as many singles and twos and take calculated risks when it comes to boundaries for the next 4 or 5 overs. Gordon's in, drags it down slightly because Stephen holds a shot and a shape really well there. In the end only gets 1 for it. I thought for a second there would be 2, but Lucy Hyam gets round to that in double quick time to prevent the second run. Reverse paddle, no run, cut off by backward point. Interesting shot from Emma Lamb there. I suppose if she gets it fine she can access that boundary, but she almost got too much of it there. Down the track this time, bit of more flight from Gordon. She'll take the single to mid wicket. That's the end of the 7th. Plays 57 for 1. Tighter over from Kirsty Gordon there, just 4 from it. I think the Thunder will be happy to go at a run a ball here, just taking as many singles and twos as possible. Get the game into the 10th, 11th, 12th over, being ahead of the 8 ball with wickets in hand. They've gone hard in the power play and punished loose bowling. Calculated risks really. What they won't want to do is go too hard to the point that they find themselves 4 or 5 wickets down and the run rate starts to dry up as those wickets fall. But if you're the Blaze, they'll want exactly that to happen. Lucy Hyam's going to continue here. Emma Lamb will be on strike. Hyam in. Swept, top edge. It's going to evade everybody. Drops into the gap. As Cassidy McCarthy does the fielding at deep square leg. That brings the left-hander Tilika Stephen on strike. Hyam will come round the wicket to the left-hander. Gordon marshalling the troops here, chopping and changing the field. And Stephen will cut that one away. There'll be no run. Good piece of work there from McCarthy inside the circle now at point. Stephen hacks at that one down the track, just bottom hand came in and ball went a little bit more leg side than she was hoping for. Michaela Kirk doing the fielding at deep mid wicket. I imagine Stephen was looking to go over mid on there. Lamb back on strike. She's just going to dab this fine. Sarah Bryce doing the fielding, coming round from from backward point. 2 more to the Lancashire Thunder. Not used to seeing Sarah Bryce without her gloves and her pads on when it comes to fielding. I am in. Down the track comes Lamb, and she's stumped. In two minds there, Emma Lamb came down the track, then went to a kind of sweep, cross-batted shot, missed the ball, and Cassidy McCarthy, sorry, I beg your pardon, Ella Claridge does not miss. Second stumping to Ella Claridge with the gloves on today. And if it was first blood to Thunder in this run chase through the power play, then it's very fair to say that it's Blaze throwing the punches at the moment, trying to grapple their way back into this contest. 2 wickets in the last 3 overs. Lucy Hyam is 1 ball left in her over. 61 for 2 from 7.5. The new batter is the skipper, Ellie Threlkeld. Just adjustments in the field, just a bit of angle changes with the fielders. Hyam, ball in hand, gives it a rip. This one's turned into the leg side from Threlkeld, so she's off the mark. Just be a single. So that's 62 for 2 from 8. And most importantly for the Blaze, the last 2 overs, the first 2 overs outside of that first power play have gone without conceding boundaries. And it just claws that run rate back. Lancashire were striking at almost 10s, and the run rate had come down way below 7.5, but now it's levelled off again. So every over that the Blaze get on top, it just sends that run rate up. Every over that Thunder get a couple of boundaries, it wrestles it back their way. Josie Groves, new bowler, to bowl some leg spin, drags this one down, it's pulled away into the leg side, but the bases are loaded, so it'll just be a single to skipper Ellie Threlkeld. Left-handed Stephen comes on strike. Groves is going to come round the wicket. Again dragged down and pulled hard into the leg side. It's going to bounce once in front of deep square leg and just be a single again. Lancashire picking out the boundary riders at the moment. Something Blaze did really well at the end of their innings, hitting the pockets, challenging the fielders, finding the rope. Run rate required up to 8.28 again, as this one beats the bat. Groves getting this one a bit more pitched up. Groves is in. Oh, and Threlkeld's walked past that one, and another great piece of glove work from Ella Claridge. The third stumping in this Lancashire Thunder innings. All 3 wickets have gone to spin, stumped Claridge, and that was a careless bit of batting from Ellie Threlkeld. And the Blaze will be very happy to see the back of an experienced cricketer and the Thunder skipper there. And just as predicted, this game can change very quickly. 3 wickets from that last over of the power play through to the 9th over, and how the picture of this game looks very different all of a sudden. The run rate starts to climb again. The pendulum swings back in Blaze's favour. Sky Thomas has joined Tilly Stephen at the crease, another product of the Lancashire Academy. Two batters that relatively new to the professional game. Stephen 5 from 7, and now Thomas is off the mark with her first delivery. Stephen back on strike. Left-handed batter, wide stance, tap of the bat. Oh, that's kept low, and it's been given. Stephen went back to a full one. It kept low, it looked very adjacent, and the umpire raises the finger. How the tables have turned in this tie. Lancashire reduced to 65 for 4. And another wicket falls to spin, this time LBW. Blaze really turn their fortunes around here outside this batting power play. Overs 7 to 10 have been huge for the Blaze, crushing for the Thunder. And Darcy Carter has come out to bat now. She'll join Sky Thomas at the crease. Sky Thomas only faced one ball herself. Perfect situation for the Blaze, 2 new batters in. Thunder were 52 without loss after 5.4 overs. And after 9 overs, they're 65 for 4. Change of bowling then from the River End. Catherine Bryce is going to bowl some of her medium pace. Keep saying Casty McCarthy. Thomas back foot drives that square for a single. Ella Claridge and Casty McCarthy again the wrong way around. Ella Claridge will stand up to the bowling of Catherine Bryce. Stillness here at Lady Bay as Catherine Bryce sets a field, and now she's in, and that's on the pads of Darcy Carter. They'll come through for a leg bite. Bryce is in. Back foot drive again from Thomas, this time straighter to the fielder, so no run. Another square drive off the back foot from Thomas, another single. Blaze will be happy just to dot them up, give them singles, but no boundaries. Try and make that run rate climb, try and create pressure, and hope that the wickets will come. Forward defensive from Darcy Carter. Blaze approaching the 10th over here. Be really happy with the wickets column. And they'll be even more happy now. Hack across the line from Darcy Carter. And the stumps are rearranged from Catherine Bryce. The Thunder are 68 for 5. Can you believe that? 10 overs gone, the halfway stage in this innings, and how different does it look? 5 wickets, I beg your pardon, falling in 4.2 overs. Over 5.5. Eve Jones departed. The score was then 52 for 1. Fast forward to the 10th over exactly, 68 for 5. The Thunder have lost 5 wickets for 16 runs in 4.2 overs. Josie Groves will continue. Sky Thomas on strike. Playing off the back foot again. She got this square behind point. She wanted to come back for 2, but her new partner turned that one down. So a lot of work for the new batter, Kate Cross, to do here. Much better batter than people may mistake when she bats lower down the order for England. Groves is in. That one's played off the back foot to extra cover for no run. Groves again. Cross off the back foot again. She cuts this one away. Just be a single to that deep cover point fielder. So lots of control here from the Blaze bowling. Really put the squeeze on the Thunder outside of this power play. Boundaries have dried up. Thomas off the back foot. Can't get this one through though, so another dot ball. Down the track, Thomas. Attempt off her own bowling there from Josie Groves. Real hard chance, hit hard back at her. She can't hold on, and they've come through for a single as well. Eve Jones also, Marie Kelly also throwing the stumps down. But the batter was home safe. So a life to Thomas. Can she make that count? Can she wrestle something back for the Thunder? Or is the writing on the wall for them after this collapse in the middle overs of this County Cup T20 bout? Dot ball to end the 11th. Lancashire Thunder 71 for 5 after 11. .90 to win from 54 balls. Thomas on strike. Catherine Bryce will continue. She'll just look to tuck the batters up, dry them up, as she does on that occasion. Bryce once again. Another dot. Thomas trying to manoeuvre the ball by opening the face. Straight to the fielder. Another valuable dot ball from a Blaze point of view. Bryce is in. This time it's run a bit finer. It'll just be a single though, as Sarah Bryce cuts the ball off, running round from point. Cross to face Catherine Bryce for the first time today. Taking guard. Deep cover point on the offside. That one's worked into the leg side. She's split short, fine leg and deep backward square leg, and that'll be 4 to Kate Cross. A much needed boundary from a Thunder point of view. Price once again floated up, driven on the up from Cross. She's not got it through. They'll get through for a second. He's cut off Marie Kelly, so no boundary. Thomas back on strike for the final ball of the 12th. And bowled. Another careless shot from a Lancashire batter. Catherine Bryce says, if you miss, I hit. Lancashire reduced to 77 for 6 after 12 overs. Another wicket falling to the last ball of an over. The pressure has mounted on the Thunder, and some really careless batting has put the Thunder in a real hole here. Plays have stayed strong in this fielding innings because Lancashire got off to a flyer. It's fair to say the seamers up top didn't bowl as well as they would have wanted to in the power play for the Blaze, and the Thunder put the bad ball away. They were striking at almost 10s through the power play, and then Eve Jones was stumped to Lucy Hyam, and since then it's been a procession of wickets. 6 wickets have fallen in as many overs. Josie Groves will continue. Cross on strike. She cuts this one away. Blaze have got their boundary riders stationed perfectly, so it's just a single. Blaze controlling this game now. I'd love a penny for Chris Reed's thoughts, head coach of the Thunder right now. As Grace Potts, the new batter, takes strike for the first time. Groves is in, beats the outside edge, it's given. A little fine nick, and Potts goes for a golden duck. Josie Groves picks up her 3rd wicket. And the Thunder are reduced to 78 for 7. What a fight back this is from the Blaze. Ella Claridge on fire behind the stumps with her 4th dismissal of the innings. And this run chase is going from bad to worse for the Thunder. Fantastic composure from the Blaze though. They could have given up after 5 overs. But the pressure they've built through these middle overs, staying patient, has been really impressive. So Tara Norris, left-handed batter, has got useful runs down the order over the years. Will face her first delivery. It's on the thigh pad. And it'll be no run. She's going to need to get more than a few useful runs here though. 83 still required from 45 balls. Groves is in again. Down the track comes Norris. Just be a single as it's stroked out to long on. Josie Groves, 3 for 8 from 2.4 overs. She's in again, bit full and down the leg side. We signalled a wide by the umpire. So still 2 to come in this over. Slightly dragged down and pulled away. Great piece of fielding by Michaela Kirk at deep backward square leg. And what destined to be 4 was just a single. Thunder being frustrated here. Kate Cross deserved 4 for that, and instead she gets 1. Groves back on it to the left-handed Norris. That is the end of the 13th. Thunder 81 for 7. Yes, you heard that right. 81 for 7. And I said before, a penny for Chris Reed's thoughts as head coach. Stumped by Claridge 3 times. Batters happy to come down the track and then go across the line of the ball on 3 occasions. 2 more batters clean bowl looking to go across the line. And yes, risks need to be taken, but execution was not there from a batting point of view. Blaze have stayed patient and the wickets have come through building pressure. Lucy Hyam's back on. More off spin. Cross on strike. She's down the track and then turns it into the leg side. 1 more to the Thunder total. Is it enough? Well, they're going to need much more than singles, but they've got to take everything on offer at the moment and hope they can find some boundaries to go with them. Norris on strike, so there's a bit of change in the field. Her being a left-hander. Long on in, but long off out. As Hyam floats it up. There's a bit of a leading edge there as Norris prods at that one. But it evades catching hands. Round the wicket again, and another bit of a mistimed shot that pops up. And again, it's no run. 1 from this over so far, halfway through it. Round the wicket comes Hyam. Mistimed sweep. The ball goes nowhere. So pressure mounting. Under 40 balls now. 38 to be precise. Remain in this over. Floated up. And Norris has got under that and fed Catherine Bryce at extra cover. Another Thunder wicket perishes. Brought about from blaze pressure. Brought about from dot balls. And from a lack of boundaries. Thunder are 82 for 8. The Blaze are buoyant. The Thunder are wilting here. Venus Virapuli comes out to the crease. I'm sure she'll go on to be a very good batter and have a very distinguished career, Virapuli. But right now, she's picked for a bowling. And if required, to bat down the order, well, she's very much required here. Coming in at number 10. 6.1 overs left. 79 to win. And that 161 target looks a long, long way away from here from a Thunder point of view. But at 52 for none, off 5.4 overs, it was very reachable. Hyam over the wicket. Virapuli turns this into the leg side. She gets it fine. 2 fine, so it goes to short fine leg for no run. That's the end of the 14th. 36 balls to come. 79 required. More than 2 a ball. How a game can change so quickly. Josie Groves is going to bowl out here. She's bowled 3 overs 3 wickets for 10 runs. Incredible bowling returns. She's in. Cross slashes at that one. It's aerially for a second, but it doesn't go to hand, and it'll just be a single. Couple of changes to the field here for the new batter, Virapulli. Michaela Kirk's gone into first slip. It's a straight mid-wicket. Long on floating, 15 yards off the rope. Virapulli plays it off the back foot, runs it down off the face of the bat. She should get 2 here. She does indeed. As Grace Ballinger does the fielding. Virapulli will retain the strike. Deep square leg, deep mid wicket, and the other leg side fielders. It's a bit of a free hit that. Doesn't time the sweep. Kind of hits under it and gets a bit of a top edge, but she didn't get enough of it. And it just plops into the leg side for another single. Cross back on strike. 4 balls remain in, I beg your pardon, 3 balls remain in this over. Cross through the offside again, but picks out extra cover. Mistimed cut shot very early on that delivery. Wanted to hit that much squarer, and Groves picks up her 4th wicket. Not often in T20 cricket do you see a bowler pick up a 4 bag. But she's got 4 for 14 now, with a couple of deliveries to come as well. Lancashire Thunder are reduced to 86 for 9. Sophie Morris, the last batter.
The next batter is number 3, Sophie Morris.
Kate Cross departs then, 10 runs from her 10 deliveries. Bowled Groves, caught Sarah Bryce. And if there was a very slim chance of Thunder getting it, I think it rested on the experience of Kate Cross. But she's gone. 2 deliveries left in Groves' spell. Can she pick up a 5-for? Oh, outside edge of the bat there. Spins away to point, and there'll be no run. Unconvincing from Sophie Morris, so perhaps Groves has got a chance to pick up that 5-for. She's got 1 ball to do it. Groves is in, floats it up. It's jammed out by Morris, and it'll be a dot ball to conclude Josie Groves' spell. And what a spell it is. 4 wickets for 14 runs from 4 overs. And Josie Groves has changed this game single-handedly. Picking up the wickets of Kesteven, Threlkeld at 3 and 4. And then mopping up the lower order in Cross and Potts. And has swung this whole game back in Blaise's favour. When I say favour, it's merely academic from this stage. 1 wicket to get, the run rate highly unlikely, as Thunder needs 75 from 30 balls. Lucy Hyam will continue. She's also got 3 wickets from her 3 overs so far. Hyam round the over the wicket now to the right-handed Virapulli, who jumpy off the back foot there, turns it into leg side, and there'll be no run. Hyam broke the deadlock for the Blaze. After a flying start from the Thunder, it was Hyam who got rid of Eve Jones, who played some convincing cuts and pulls and drives to get Thunder off to a really good start. Veerapooli sweeps this aerially. It's going to bounce a couple of times in front of deep square leg. It'll just be a single. But ever since the end of that power play, Blaze have had serious control. Boundary riders stationed perfectly, angles really good. The boundaries dried up, the pressure mounted, and the Thunder batters perished. Hyam in again. Bit of spin there, and it just darts into the thigh pad of Morris, and it'll be no run. Hyam gives it a bit of flight, hit aerially into a vacant gap between mid-wicket and mid-on. Couple to Sophie Morris there. 89 for 9. Two balls left in Hyam's spell. Played off the back foot this time. Hyam floats this one up. Driven back at the bowler. No run, and what a spell that is from Lucy Hyam. We wax lyrical about Josie Groves, but Lucy Hyam has bowled in tandem with Josie Groves and has returned figures of 3 for 15 from her 4. She broke the deadlock and made the inroads for the Blaze, removing Eve Jones, and then went on to remove Norris as well as Emma Lamb. 2 of those wickets being stump combos with Ella Claridge. How valuable a spell that will be in getting Blaze to finals day. Lucy Hyam is done, and it's going to be Grace Ballinger to return. How different the scenario is now. She opened up against 2 experienced cricketers who got the Thunder off to a flyer. Half an hour later, she gets thrown the ball back. She's bowling at number 10 and 11. And the Thunder are 89 for 9. Ballinger, left arm round the wicket to the right-handed Veerapooli, who guides this one down to a very fine third for a single. Great temperament from Veerapooli. You can tell she's no mug with the bat. She's been asked a lot of in her very young career from this situation. Sophie Morris, the number 11, on strike. Ballinger round the wicket, on the money, kept out by Morris. Ballinger once again. Well timed check drive there from Sophie Morris, but she can't get it through. So single and 2 dots so far in this over. Ballinger once again, 4th ball in this over. Pegging Morris back, and it'll be another dot ball. Lady Bay still as ever. Bit of a hack this time for Morris. She gets enough of it to keep the ball out, but not enough to get it through that inner circle, so another dot. Over 3 a ball required for the Thunder now. As I said earlier, merely academic, the scenario we find ourselves in. Ballinger round the wicket, kept out again by Morris. Clearly got a decent technique, but no ability to score any runs at this stage, and no margin for error with no wickets or no batters to come after this one. 17 gone. Lancashire Thunder 90 for 9. 71 required from 18. Double change, more seam. Cassidy McCarthy's going to come back. She's going to get 6 chances to mop the Thunder tail up. Ella Claridge is going to stand up. She's been outstanding with the gloves. Doesn't get the chance often, but has took her chance today. With the riches of wicket keeping and depth in this play squad. McCarthy's in. Slower ball to start. Dug out from Virapulli into leg side. Just be a single. So that brings Morris back on strike. McCarthy in. Dug out again. No run this time. The Blaze are completely on top here, but Lady Bay is as still and as quiet as it's been all afternoon. You know, waiting in anticipation for that final wicket. Another slow ball guided by Virapulli, and a misfield from short third. They won't come back for 2 though. Bit of miscommunication there. And Sarah Bryce gets away with one. Bit of a wry smile to her sister, who dug her out of a hole there, mopping up the misfield. Three left in this over. How many balls will this innings last? McCarthy, full pace that time. For a second, Virapulli thought the pull was on. She was rushed for a bit of pace. It wasn't quite as short as I think she calculated. Hence the mistimed pull shot there. Cassidy McCarthy at the top of the mark. Gliding in. Bangs this one in. Oh my goodness, that one did get up. And it's been signalled a wide by umpire Gabby Brown. That was so short. Almost hit her on the toes. So 2 still remain in the 18th. Will Blaze get over the line with the final wicket? McCarthy's in, full. Beats everything. Good piece of glove work again from Ella Claridge. Not only does she stop the wide Yorker, but she takes the bails off as well. McCarthy in and full, slashed away by Virapulli. She'll get another single. She'll retain the strike. 94 for 9, the Thunder from 18. Mathematically the game isn't done, but you can say that the game has been over for a long time. Thunder perishing to the spin of Groves and Hyam. The pair taking 7 wickets amongst them. Hyam removing both openers after a very profitable power play from a Thunder point of view. Thunder were very much on top. The Blaze were ragged through that power play. And then Gordon brings herself on, takes pace off, throws the ball to other spinners, and the wickets came. Ballinger then round the wicket. She gets another chance to remove the final batter. She goes full and wide outside that off stump. It's a play and miss. And again, good glove work from Ella Claridge. Ballinger in again. Virapulli equal to that delivery. Just playing it out to extra cover for no run. Lovely drive from Virapulli. Nearly ran out though. She ran on the shot. She was happy with the shot, so tried to take a run. And Marie Kelly picked it up clean and had a shy at the stumps. And Virapulli was nowhere near being in the picture. Ballinger in. And again, the Thunder tailenders are equal to this bowling. They can't particularly score any runs, but they're going to make the Blaze bowl as many balls as possible in this T20 clash. One thing that is for sure now though is Blaze are going to T20 finals day at Old Trafford. As Ballinger's in, and this one's gone in the air, and that's the end of the game. Good catch at mid-on from Josie Groves. Well, what a change about from 5.4 overs to 18.5 overs. Blaze win by 66 runs and take all 10 wickets of the Lancashire Thunder inside 19 overs. An emphatic victory in the end. At the halfway stage, we wasn't sure what a par score was. 160, exactly 8 and over to win. It's going to take some getting, but given we're on an out ground, the dimensions of the ground, how quick the ball ran away at times on this dry outfield, it was hard to gauge. And when Lancashire Thunder openers got off to a flyer and found themselves 52 without loss, they looked in the ascendancy, they looked on top, and the Blaze were scratching their head. Enter Lucy Hyam, who bowled the final over of the batting power play. Not often do you see spin bowled in the first power play, but Captain Gordon turned to herself first to bowl an over, and then Lucy Hyam, and Lucy Hyam broke the deadlock, removing Eve Jones, stumped by Ella Claridge, and then from there the wickets fell at regular intervals. Emma Lamb also stumped by Ella Claridge to the bowling of Lucy Hyam. Lucy Hyam removing both openers, prize wickets. Eve Jones 24 from her 18 and Emma Lamb 30 from her 23 deliveries, both striking at 130 plus. and it looked ragged. It looked really ragged for the Blaze. And then enter Josie Groves, the ball thrown to the young leg spinner. We don't get to see her that often due to the depth of this team and this squad. But didn't she take her chance? Returning figures of 4 for 14 from 4 overs, and half of her deliveries being dot balls, and conceding no boundaries. An economy rate of 3.5, removing 3 and 4, Kesteven and Threlkeld. And then Cross and Potts. And then not to forget that Catherine Bryce picked a couple of wickets up in her mini spell of 2 overs as well. 2 for 9 from her too. And then Grace Ballinger removing the final wicket of Sophie Morris. Nasty McCarthy, the other bowler, she went wicketless today, none for 25. With her return to the Blaze 11. But the headline, very much that Blaze are off to finals day at Old Trafford. Just a reminder, from a batting point of view, very much everybody chipped in. Sarah Bryce 22, Catherine Bryce 33, Emma Jones 18, Michaela Kirk 29, and Ella Claridge 31. So even though the Blaze lost 8 wickets at regular intervals, batters continue to just press forward, keep their foot on the accelerator and chip in and work as a batting unit. So that concludes the Vitality T20 Women's County Cup quarter-final here at the Nottinghamshire Sports Ground. Lady Bay Cricket Ground hosting this tie. And the final result, Blaze 160 for 8, Lancashire Thunder 95 all out, and the Blaze winning by 65 runs. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.